to the Becoming You show with me, your host, Leah Rowling. Do you believe you are capable of choosing your future? Sometimes it takes just one person to believe in you, for you to believe in yourself. If you find yourself continuing to say, someday I will take better care of myself, only to continue living the same day over and over and over again, then you, my friend, are in the right place. I am your biggest cheerleader, inspiring you to become you on purpose and with intention. Are you ready to create a life you love? I'm excited to share with you some big ideas that you can use today to inspire, impact, and influence your life and everyone in it. The Becoming You show starts now. Hello, my friends. How are you? I hope this conversation finds you awesome. Because we are diving right into the discussion today because it's a big one. And I don't think a lot of us think that it is as big as it is. I want you to understand, and the conversation is going to follow suit, but your success is dependent on, and many of us, again, overlook the importance of creating a practice around it. And that is, well, it's growth. Okay? It's growth. A lot of the conversations that we have in this podcast, on my socials, conversations that I have with my clients, it all revolves around this practice of growth. Growth is both a process and a practice of consciously and intentionally striving to improve oneself, both personally and professionally. And yet, I don't think enough of us wake up in the morning with that ambition. I don't think we wake up in the morning with that desire and that level of intentionality to be like, hey, I want to grow today. I want to do something great with my life today, right? How many of us just kind of wake up and be like, I'm just going to make it through today. I'm just going to figure it out today. I'm just going to rinse and repeat. And I really think this conversation of growth is so underestimated that I wanted to bring it forward with you today because it's everything. It's everything. Because without it, does anything else really matter? Without growth, without evolution of your soul, of your consciousness, of your knowledge, of your skills, of your abilities, without growth in your ability to cultivate mental management practices and emotional intelligence and growth around just the awareness of self. I just don't know what else would be the point, right? So at its core, growth is about becoming the best version of oneself. Okay, that version that is equipped with the skills and the confidence and the mindset necessary to truly navigate any and all of life's challenges with opportunities, with grace, with resilience. It's about learning to understand, as I mentioned before, and regulate our emotions. It's about mastering our mind. It's about understanding our own behaviors. It's about really cultivating this mindset, if you will, of continuous improvement and growth. Because without an intentional effort to do so, we will continue to use our past as evidence of what is possible in our now. And I say this so many times, but it bears repeating because, again, I don't have the statistics on it, but I'm guessing if you just inquire about how you woke up this morning, did you woke up this morning with growth on your mind? Did you wake up this morning and maybe you did. And if you listen to this podcast and or you do your own personal development and you make it a daily practice and you know that growth is the thing, you did. But for so many of us, we might need reminded that Your job every single day is to wake up with a growth mindset, to wake up every day and invite yourself into the possibility that you are, not what you've been, but who you get to become, which is why it's the Becoming You show, right? You get to show up and you get to decide and you get to create some intentionality about how you want to show up for the people in your life, how you want to move your body so that you feel that you've got that physical vitality. Because that physical energy changes everything. It changes everything about how you experience and show up in your day. And yet too many of us are just going through the motions, just checking boxes, just to do it all over again the next day. Growth is the remedy for that rinse and repeat cycle. Growth knocks you out of repetition and knocks you back into the rhythm that feels in alignment with the truest and most authentic part of who it is that you are. So let's talk about some of these aspects of growth. I've tried to convince you, right, that it is important to at least consider, like, when was the last time you thought about your growth? Do you have a growth plan? Do you know what you are efforting to do the rest of the year in order to optimize your gifts, your genius, the potential that lies within? Like, what's your growth plan? I would love to know. I would love to know your growth plan. And if you don't have one, okay, we are creating growth plans together on a webinar that we are having next week. Actually, that's the first one. It's a series, but we're going to help you create a growth plan for your life, because it is the most important thing for you to do to evolve into that next level, that next evolution of yourself. Because what I know for sure, as a coach for 3+ decades now, as my coach, right? I have a coach, but I will always be, a client of mine, is that if growth isn't at the heart of everything that I am trying to do, I will not make progress in it. And the success that I have attained today needs something different. It will always need something different. They say that success begats success to a point, to a point. And then at some point in time, you have to be the generator of that success. And you being the generator of that success is the growth plan that I'm talking about. So if you're interested in getting a growth plan, if you're interested in what this webinar looks like or this workshop looks like that we're going to dive into, you can find it in the show notes. We would love to have you there. So back to the key aspect of personal growth. The biggest aspect is learning to navigate the landscape of your mind. Okay. This involves understanding subconscious patterns. It involves understanding the beliefs that you've had and really questioning where they came from and whose they are, right? Because most likely they are not yours. Because these subconscious patterns and beliefs, they drive every single thing that you do or you don't do in life. So if there is something that you know that you should be doing, but for whatever reason, I'm putting in air quotes, you don't, it's because you have a pattern and a belief that overrides the very need and necessity to want to do the very thing that you know you need to do. That's it, period. That is what's happening. There's nothing wrong with you that you don't do what you know. It's just that you haven't learned that as a fundamental foundation in human behavior change, we don't fundamentally do what we know. We do what we are patterned to believe. So we might want to get those beliefs in check and at least assure that they're, one, our beliefs, and two, that they're the beliefs that drive our behavior. Okay, so this is very important as we talk about growth and as we talk about a growth plan. If you want to grow in any aspect of your life, we have to uncover the beliefs that keep you in the behavior that is most likely sabotaging the results that you want in your life. Okay, so that's one. And then we get to learn to challenge and reshape those patterns in order to be more empowered in our life. Okay, so that's the first thing. Okay. The other thing that I want to kind of tease in today in our conversation is really stepping out of the comfort zones, the box, if you will, that we have created for ourselves that gives us this false this false allowance of feeling as if we are safe, as if we are comfortable, as if we understand what we're doing, but we are falsely led to believe that that is true. Okay. We have been taught, even in schools, that we should stay in the lines, that we shouldn't really, make a mess of things, that we shouldn't be disruptive in any way, that we should just follow in the line, color in the line. And if I'm going to ask you to get out of your comfort zone, it is going to require courage. It is going to require resiliency. And both of those are growth practices. Practicing courage, practicing resilience, stepping into a confidence, right? That is a skill, that is a capability, right? That you get to practice. Believing in yourself, believing that you are capable of handling it, believing that you are capable of figuring it out is where we need to start. And I would like you to consider that I want you to figure it out your way, not everybody else's way. And that is where I'm asking you to step out of your comfort zone. Comfort zone says, just do what everybody else does. Just do what they say to do, because if you do what they do and they say to do, and it doesn't work out the way that you wanted it to, well, then there's no real failure there. It's actually you took their advice that didn't work. Nothing has gone wrong. Nothing has gone wrong except for everything has gone wrong. Everything has gone wrong because you're still in your box and you still haven't efforted failure, because you know that on the other side of that is where your success lies, right? So it's really about embracing any and all of these opportunities with the wisdom of you, okay? And tapping into growth, tapping into the gap, right? Between where we are in this little box of ours and where we are asked and invited to be courageous, okay? Because sometimes growth and sometimes learning, or I should say unlearning, okay, can seem daunting and it can seem very intimidating. And the ask, this growth ask, is to push yourself beyond what you thought you were capable. That's what I mean by coloring outside the lines. That's what I mean outside of your comfort zone. Okay. Because when we do that, we not only expand the capabilities, but we also cultivate a sense of confidence and empowerment that truly then propels us forward. Okay. The other growth practice that I wanted to kind of share with you guys today is this idea of really redefining and shattering identities, right? Embarking on a journey to become, right? The becoming is the journey. Someone who prioritizes progress over procrastination, that prioritizes elevating skills and habits that truly reshape the way that we are leading, we are living, and we are loving. Because that is truly the essence of personal development. And too often, this aspect of our lives is left to the whims of fate, and it's overlooked amidst the chaos of our daily routines. Because we are so bombarded, one, with what everybody else thinks that we should do, two, with what everybody else is doing, that we don't sit with what it is that we know we need to do. right? We don't sit within the wisdom that is the whisper of how we get to navigate that next challenge, how we get to navigate and step out of the way that we've always done things, right? And to give ourselves the grace and the space to let that wisdom talk, because we're way too busy consuming. We're way too busy in distractions of our life. The overeating, the overdrinking, the over Netflixing, the over judging, all to avoid who we are and all to avoid what we want to effort forward. All of these things are just a distraction of ourself. It's just a distraction. Okay. So we're shattering identities, right? We are understanding our beliefs that become the behaviors, even against our will. And it's by also allowing ourselves to step outside of the comfort zone. So those are 3 of the growth practices that I would like to challenge you to step into. Okay. The other couple that I want to share quickly as this conversation comes to a close is this practice of intentionality. Now, some people might not consider intentionality to be a growth practice, but I disagree. I 1,000% believe that to be growth minded requires intentionality. It requires us to consider a choice of which to choose about how we live. Allowing us to break free from any sort of complacency and mediocrity, right? It challenges us. It calls us up to question our beliefs, to confront our fears, to embrace discomfort as the very catalyst for growth in itself, right? And what I will say here, and I tried to tease this out at the very beginning, is that research consistently underscores the profound impact of growth on every facet of our life, right? And unlike any variable in the formula that I've been rolling out in these last couple of episodes, so if you've missed them, I've been rolling out variables in a formula that we created that really help us understand, and with clarity, like crystal clear clarity, understand that we've had it wrong. We've had it wrong. That fulfillment is not a byproduct of success, right? How many people do you know that have achieved a level of success and that are on the other side of that success and they don't feel like they thought they would feel? They thought they would be happier. They thought they would feel more fulfilled. They thought that they would be more confident. They thought that they would have more relationships, more meaningful relationships. They thought they might even be more healthy. And for too many of us, that isn't the reality. So success, right, is actually the byproduct of these variables that I'm speaking of, not the other way around. And we've not been taught this, right? We've been taught that, once you have this level of success and you get to define what that means for you, then you will be happy, right? Then you will be confident. How many times have we thought, like, if we could just get that right partner, or if we were able to lose the weight that we wanted to lose, or we got that promotion, or we quit our job, or we started our business, or we sold out on our webinar, or this or that, or any other thing, that then we could be excited, or then we could be happy, or then we could be confident. It doesn't work that way, friends. It just doesn't work that way. Human behavior change says otherwise. Human behavior change, belief systems, would say that you have to believe that you are confident, that you have to believe that you are a person that is respectful, and respected. You have to believe that you are bringing a source of energetic enthusiasm to the experience in order to get what it is that you want. Fulfillment creates success. Success is the byproduct of fulfillment. So the only reason why I'm rehashing all of this is it's so critical for us to understand, because what happens too often is we will get people, right? I will coach people that one, they fit in two camps, right? And of course, I'm oversimplifying for time, but they either fit in the camp where they've achieved all the success that they wanted, but they don't enjoy it because they thought it would be different. They thought they would feel different. And so now they just want more because they think that, oh, well, this success must be insufficient for me to feel the way that I thought I would feel. So let's just grab up more success. And they keep grabbing up success and they keep grabbing up success. And along their way to success attainment, they completely lose themselves. And they might lose some relationships along the way. And they might lose their health. And they might lose sight of the very things that are the very most important to them. That's why this is important. Or two, they're on this journey of success. They're in it. They're in the thick of it. And if you're listening to this, that might be you. And they think, Leah, my God, there has to be a different way. There has to be a better way because this is exhausting. This is debilitating. This journey to success doesn't feel successful. And this success that I crave is literally killing me, right? It's killing me. That is not the kind of success that I want for you. That is not the kind of life that I want for you. And so by understanding and committing to our own growth and evolution, committing to these practices of understanding that beliefs create behaviors, and to stop coloring in the lines and to get out of your comfort zone by way of being willing to feel anything that you need to feel. Fear, yes. Failure, yes. Disappointment, yes. They are all the catalyst for your growth. We have to understand that. We have to know that. We have to embrace it and we have to lean into it. Because when we don't, what we do is we run away from it. We hide, we buffer, we overdo, overeat, overdrink. We do all the overages to avoid the very feeling that is required for us to actually feel anything, right? Fulfillment, right, is to feel something and to be full of the feeling of it. And yet we're still scrambling for success. We're still scrambling for that next level of achievement, that next level of accomplishment. So what I want you to understand is growth and this pursuit of your own personal mastery is an opportunity. It's the doorway of discovery to the very essence of who we are and the very limitless potential that resides within each of us, just kind of waiting for us to pay attention to her or to him. And if we allow this journey to be guided by intention and to be guided by our own wisdom, which means we're not borrowing other people's beliefs, that we're actually choosing them on purpose as part of our growth plan so that next level of doors will open up, next level of successes will unfold. Because what got you here, what got you to this level of success is insufficient to get you to the next. Guess what? Guess what is the path? Guess what the path is to get you to that next level of success? It's growth. It's growth. It's your growth. And then your growth will have a ripple effect on everyone else that you get to love, that you get to lead, and that you get to do this life with. So I hope that you are on a growth journey. I hope you have a growth plan. If you don't, see us in our webinar. I hope that you are doing the work and you wake up every morning with the option to choose growth over comfort, to choose growth over distraction, to choose growth over recycled, borrowed, inherited beliefs that make you feel safe, but that keep you small. As your coach, I'm always here challenging you up, cheering you on, because I believe in the potential of you. I believe in your growth. I just want you to believe in it. I want you to believe that there is a future for you that awaits you to step into it. And I want you to see that future reveal itself to you. And the only way it's going to reveal itself to you is if you're open to the growth that's required for the doors to open. Because if you don't do your work, the doors are not going to open. You want the doors to open. You're waiting for the doors to open. You're sitting on your hands being like, oh my gosh, what we often do is we chase this idea or that idea, or we borrow their ideas thinking that they have it all figured out. They don't. You have it figured out. But we don't stay and give ourselves the space to have it figured out, to allow ourselves to inform ourselves that we have it figured out, because we think somebody else knows better. You know best. I promise you, you do. You know best as to what it is that you need to think, what it is that you need to feel, how it is that you need to show up in your life to create the one that you recognize. Because if we're not creating the ones that we recognize by tapping into the wisdom that's within us, we will create a life that is unrecognizable to us. And we will slap a stamp on it and call it success, and it will never feel like success because it wasn't ours. So I want you to step into the success that is you. That is the invitation. That is the challenge. And I'm here cheerleading you on every step of the way. Until next time, my beautiful friends, have an awesome one. Be growth-minded. Wake up. Set an alarm that says, I'm going to be growth-minded today. I'm going to invite growth into my life today. If I were to create my own growth plan, what would it look like? You need support helping create one for you? Come to our webinar. But if you don't, sit with it. What is my growth plan for the rest of the year? What does the future version of me need to know, need to unlearn, need to unlock, need to revisit, need to accept, need to forgive, need to invite? What does my growth plan look like for me? I can't wait to see what you come up with. Have a beautiful, growth-minded day. Take care, everybody.
You have been listening to the Becoming You show with me, your host, Leah Rolling, where I share big ideas to inspire, impact, and influence your life. Tune in every Friday at 11 Central on transformationtalkradio.com for your morning cup of coffee, the hug you never want to end, and that inspirational message that you felt was written just for you. Each show is inspiring you to become you with purpose and intention. For more information or to connect with me, visit www.leahrolling.com.